Alright, I think it's time to share some personal experiences again. I've been putting this off because, one, I wanted to make sure I knew what was actually happening. And two, I didn't want to fully believe what was actually happening. So before I get into it, just to preface the experiences a little bit, wherever I keep going or ending up most of the time, when I just let go and go wherever I feel like I'm supposed to go or needed. I don't really ever put too much intent into going to specific places. So wherever I'm ending up, it's a realm that seems to be like the souls that I know here, or something like that, or whatever souls they are, they still think it's like a physical world. But some of the populace there and projectors that go there, they know that you can fly and stuff and you have abilities. And there's definitely some weirdness going on in terms of some beings and projectors not wanting other normal people to know about certain abilities, or that they can attain those abilities. So it's just a lot of partying there, a lot of just stuff that we do in this world right now, carried over to there. So, other thing, my very early projections, when I first started to consciously transition, there's basically a few different timelines going on. So if you don't identify as your physical vessel anymore, and you know your essence or energy, consciousness, whatever people want to call it, or their term for it, you attain your own sort of timeline, and you bounce around that timeline, and then there's like a fixed timeline where other people who are living in this other realm, who think they're just still living physical lives, and they think they're going to be immortal that way, and they were promised eternity in a physical life, and they accepted that, and got comfortable, or maybe scared or whatever. I don't care about their reasoning. They first off are the ones that need help to realize there's so much more going on, and then second off, they have like a fixed timeline. They're living day by day. So for me, with all of my projections, I show up in different vessels because they steal these beings that are in it. They want to basically erase me from existence, steal my family, steal my friends, and then steal my vessels, and tell everybody that, and they do horrible things with my face, and they say I torture people, and they want to erase me and make me out to be such a bad guy that nobody will trust me. And every time I get out of body, it's like there's a huge target on my back, and they get rewarded for like kicking me out of the experience. So I show up throughout their whole timeline at different points, and they don't even know how far I've already experienced and already handled them in the future, I guess, or whatever. I don't know, and I don't want to say that any of this is written in stone, or whatever, but it really feels like a consensus reality, and it feels like I reversed since my early projections, and now I'm more close to their current timeline and trying to help there, and just trying to expose the lies that are happening. And I get it. Some people also don't want to deal with any of this, and they just want to have fun and relax, and when they project, they don't feel like they're at any threat. So good for them. I'm not saying you should live your life any differently. This is what's happening with me, and I'm sharing this because people need to know that this stuff can happen as a result of letting your guard down and trusting someone too many times, even though they clearly shouldn't be trusted anymore. And I think that's a product of just being too nice, being forced to be too nice here all the time, and this whole agenda of don't hurt anybody's feelings. Like, I am very nice. I am very nice in real life, and I don't like hurting people's feelings. But at the same time, I need to learn that there's a point where I just really need to, it's better to speak what I really want to say, and not just what somebody wants to hear to make them feel comfortable. So, anyway, my early projections, I'm going to this place where it's cool, and it's like a training ground, and it's my first condo place, and I'm trying to learn how to fly, and I end up climbing trees a lot, and I see stuff that looks like my family, but sometimes it doesn't feel like my family. And then I see stuff that looks like my neighbor, but something's always off, like, and then sometimes it really does feel like them. So I think it's a mix of this being who has control of 3 other souls at any given time. So he can take control of 4 vessels at a time. They can shapeshift, and they have the technology to look like anybody and act like anybody. And they're playing, one of them always plays like a friend, like the good guy, and he acts like he's one with the creator and all this stuff. And, you know, maybe he is, but he ain't treating me right. So if you walk this earth right now, then we're equal. And time is going to tell where everybody's going to end up. And I don't think he's going to end up in a good place. Because also, and I'm going to bounce around a lot, but because whatever they did to me, like stole my energy or did something, I sometimes wake up in their vessels while they're talking to each other, and they don't even realize it. So they're giving me info that I hear, and recently so fuck it, his name's Albert Snow, and I met him on physical, and he's tied to his older brother, which they have there's this weird thing going on in, if you're in physical here, some people have like an older brother or a younger brother on the other side when you cross over to that realm. So it's him and his older brother, and his older brother projected to physical through Albert and started speaking to me when I lived in my other condo. And I don't know if he was trying to make peace, because he experienced things to such a point where he felt like he needed to come and find me, because he told me one night, do you know how long I was looking for you, and all this stuff that didn't make sense. And he would only tell me little bits, and he would just leave me hanging out to dry for what it means, and I always felt a little distraught after communicating with him, and we had some beef, and honestly, like, I tried to forget about them and let them be, give them time to move on, give me time to move on, but they never stopped. All I did was give them more room to make things worse for me and plant more seeds for the people around me not to trust me. And none of this video is going to make sense to anybody that knows me right now, but one day it will. And yeah, it's frustrating at times, but also it makes me know I'm doing the right thing, and I'm not going to give up. Just because the people around me don't understand what I'm doing right now, it doesn't mean it's going to discourage me, or they're going to say, Steve, it's not right for your mental health right now, like you need to just stop. No, that's not going to happen. So basically, I started projecting, right? Had all these experiences, and then this guy shows up all of a sudden in physical one time as a neighbor. And right away, when I saw him and he saw me for the first time, he had this feeling about him, like he was just looking at me like, and I was like, what the heck, who is this guy? And then we sort of became friends in physical, but then sort of not. He would do things that was disrespectful and made me start to lose trust. And then I would just kind of try to like get rid of him and not really interact with him anymore. But I felt like my good heart was getting the better of me, and always felt bad if he felt bad. Like we were connected to like, I don't know. I don't even want to get into all that, but I kept trying to be a friend for him. And I might honestly be one, I know he has other friends, but I might be one of his truest friends that he messed up a big relationship with. So then after that, I moved away from that neighborhood, and then lived with my parents for a while, and in between when I'm getting a new house, and I'm projecting more and more, and he starts showing up in those projections, and he shows up and he's like saying stuff like I said, always one of them acting like a friend, and there's 3 other, right? So whenever they invade me, which is every single experience, and their goal is always to make my experience as short as possible. They did something to my body out there where all they have to do is like touch my ear or something around my head, and it turns off all my senses. And they try to trick me into thinking that I'm not out of body anymore. So it's just a mind game, but a lot of times I'm still there. So I just need to stay calm for a second, and I get back in there. So, and I don't even care if I'm giving out too much info. They can know all my strategies. They're never going to stop me, and things are going to be in the right place at the end of the day. So they start showing up, right? And the one who's acting like a friend, he says like, I was thinking about going after your sister or something like that. And I'm like, well, first off, I'm a lot more laid back when I'm out of body. If someone said that to me in physical, I'll beat your ass on the spot. But if you keep pushing me, I will. Maybe not just like that, and I'm not trying to act hard. But you don't mess with my sisters ever. I will destroy you if that ever happens. So I'm a lot more laid back out of body. And then a few more experiences after that, I wind up in my childhood house again. And the one is like on the porch talking to my sister. And then the other one is like using my brother's vessel or shape-shifting as my brother to try and distract me to not go out there and talk to her. So since I thought the one, and they also said, don't worry, Steve, there's nothing to worry about anymore. It's all good. We all talked and all this stuff. So they're constantly playing my games with me. So then I go see something that looks like my brother, and my brother says there's someone downstairs for you. So I go downstairs, and it's Albert, and he says, some stuff. He's just trying to distract me so that the other one can talk to my sister, right? So whatever they're doing, whatever they become somewhat successful at, like, mind controlling or brainwashing people around me. And yeah, so that was one experience. And then fast forward, I have so many experiences. Every single night I'm going hard. I'm trying my best to get out there, help, get lucid, do what I need to do. Somehow they always know when I'm not lucid. They know exactly where I am as soon as I get there, and then they show up. So one of them kind of distracts me. I start being a little nice, thinking maybe it's not them this time or something like that. And then all of a sudden I feel super grounded, like I'm in this experience. I don't need to reground or anything. And then all of a sudden, boom, the experience is over for no reason. So one of them's distracting me, acting like my friend, and then another one comes around from behind and kicks me out of the experience. And there's 4 of them, and they think it's fucking hilarious that they're able to do this, where in reality, they're absolutely pathetic that they would do this to someone that they knew from physical. And this was the whole issue I had with him in the beginning. We started talking about non-physical stuff, and it's so obvious what I'm about at this point. If there's something going on in physical here, it gets handled here. You don't carry over your habits and your shit from here to there. That place is an actual realm full of magic. This place is so dense, they call it the flesh illusion. Okay, it's a consensus reality. I know it's a real reality. But one day, this is all going to be a dream for all of us. A distant memory of the past, in my opinion. And that's where I'm at. And I'm not trying to convince anybody of that. This is just my beliefs. And I'm probably going to get heat and whatever just for speaking my mind. Because it's that messed up for me right now that I literally just say what I'm feeling and I get attacked. And this is supposed to be a place, and it's the same people who are saying that they accept everybody's beliefs and all that crap, but once it threatens their own stupid reality that they created for themselves and their own beliefs, then they feel like they need to say something and that I'm in the wrong and they're in the right. I literally this whole time have minded my business, just tried to work on my own skills and abilities, and they have invaded me every single time. So that's just ridiculous. And I didn't want to call them out right here, but I know my videos and when I make Reddit posts, they make waves. Maybe not here, but they do there, and they get seen by the right eyes. So this information is more so for the people that are helping me right now, that they can hear it from my own mouth, what's actually going on. So now also was placed in some sort of dungeon level realm with full of negative entities, almost constantly getting attacked every night. Every time I consciously transition, there's something messing with the environment, trying to make me think it's still physical. These are like grand deceptive wizards I'm dealing with. Also, I've seen their true form, and he's like a salamander alligator with 4 legs, and he crawls on his belly, because I almost got him a couple times, but he just slithers away like a little salamander thing he is, and he runs away. Every time he feels threatened, he runs away like a little fucking bitch. Well, I'm ready to face and actually say what's going on and deal with the conflict in front of us. He's afraid of what he's doing, and getting caught and losing everything he has. Because I know I'm going to be alright and where I'm going to end up. And nothing's going to stop that, because I do have a good heart by nature. And I'm not out to cut people's legs from under them. And if you're someone who is like that, well, you might want to rethink a few things, because we're being watched by a lot of ancient beings. And I know that for a fact. And I'm not trying to act cool. I'm trying to warn people that this is it. This is the times right now where there's so many eyes on us. So if you're being malicious to other people, you're being seen that you're being malicious. And if you think it's just going to magically work out for you because you didn't know in the moment, well, maybe, in a long, long time, it will work out for you. I don't want to pretend to know all these things. But I do know that shit is happening right now. And there's a lot of primordial energies watching what's happening. And I'm getting a lot of help from them. And they have to be hands off. They're not allowed to just come down and take care of everything for me. They're not allowed to do that as much as they want to. They can only sit back and watch and help me. And when I have a thought, they provide me a tool I need in the moment. So that's what's happening in a nutshell. These guys can look like anybody, and they have other projectors on their side. They've appeared to me as David Dobrik, that YouTuber, and his whole crew have shown up in my experiences a bunch of times. They act like I invade their experiences, but they're the ones that stole my vessel. So I wake up in my own vessel sometimes there and have to deal with them, even though I don't want to. And they're trying to fuck with me again last night with that Todd and Jeff guy. They come in the room and they're butt-ass naked, acting like I'm into that. It's fucking pathetic what they're doing. And they've seen what I'm connected to and what I'm capable of, and they still try it with me. And they try it on my family and my loved ones. So, what the hell? You have to be so stupid to think it's going to work out for you. And I didn't even want to get annoyed and upset when I made this video, man. But it's just so stupid what's happening, and I'm sick of it. And I'm not going to give up. And it's just going to make, when all this is over and said and done, it's just going to make everything so much sweeter for me. And I'm going to make damn sure everybody I love and everybody I'm close to are okay too. Because I've learned a few things too. And I know how to find whoever I want to find, as long as I have the time to do it. That's why they always come after me. I literally have all but 10 seconds as soon as I enter an experience before they show up. So I can't sit there and meditate while I'm out of body to manifest things better for myself, or teleport to someone, or do stuff like that as easily as everybody else. And, people on the Reddit, the Astral Projection Reddit, they have their own experiences going on. I'm not knocking them for not knowing any of this stuff, or saying that I'm full of shit or that I need to relax, because they don't understand what's actually happening to me. And there are some projectors that seem to are starting to realize, and this guy who came from the other side into the neighbor I talked about, I really hate using their names, but I feel like I had to. And it seems like my past projections are his future projections. And his past projections, he was seeing himself in a way, or an aspect of himself or his brother, in my vessel. So they are saying, or maybe he's just also being deceived by his own brother, or maybe he really knows exactly what he's doing. He saw me, or what he thought was me, do horrible things with this face. And that's maybe one of the reasons he's still after me. And he's tried to say last night that I torture people, when all I do, because this guy, this neighbor of mine, which, if my sources are correct, he killed himself here. So he's out there all the time now. Or I don't know if that's true or not, but there was this experience with himself where he was saying something about either him or his girlfriend killing themselves. And that's not my fault. Because he tried to kill me one night, actually. And I think I shared that one. He came through my mirror while I was not lucid. I was on this toilet. He put some sort of sigil on my toilet and physical. And then he appeared to me through my mirror in that bathroom while I was in non-physical. And I had a sense for a minute that we were out of body. And I asked, is this physical? And he gave me an answer to keep me from getting lucid. So that's where he's at. I'm someone who's going around to try and tell people that I'm from this other world, because they're completely unaware of those stuff. And he's the type of person who's going around to want people to not be lucid. I want everybody to get lucid and realize what's going on. He gave me an answer. He said, yeah. And it confused me, and I thought it was physical. Right after that, we blip outside, and he tries to murder me by doing this attack where he crouches on the ground. He jumps up as high as he could, because they don't know how to fly, because they're very limited in their beliefs. And he did this sonic flip a bunch of times, and he tried to land right on me. And I wasn't scared the whole time. I knew he wasn't going to land on me the whole entire time. And splat, lands right on the ground, right in front of me. Fucking traumatic for me, seeing a friend basically kill themselves in front of me. And he broke his back. So now he projects himself into other vessels so that he doesn't have to be in his broken ass vessel that he broke himself. So, yeah, that happened. He literally tried to kill me. Lied to me. Always tries to make sure I'm not lucid. So, the goal right now is to keep projecting, keep living my life here, and understanding that I have to live out my life here and be there for my family and all that. That's cool. I have no problems with that. And then when I go to bed, make sure I'm well rested. If I need rest, I'll sleep if I need to. But I'm going to project as much as I can, and I'm going to keep making their lives miserable, because they're the ones that put themselves in that position. And I'm just naturally going to my ancestors' land, which is rightfully mine. I'm the true heir of that land. And I have connections, apparently, to some very powerful beings that are my ancestors. And I'm not doing that to brag. I'm just letting everybody know I go to these places naturally, because that's where I'm supposed to be, and I'm supposed to be helping there. And then this is where all the celebrities come into play, because clearly this guy sold his soul just to get at me. And all the celebrities that are stupid and also sold their souls, not all of them, there are some that are helping me now secretly, but a lot of them invade the lands because basically what happened is there's like some sort of frequency gate, and they tricked me one night into acting like we were friends. And he gave me a hug, and he made it so that we crossed the threshold together, that frequency threshold, the gates they're talking about, that everybody talks about. I'm on the inside of the gates. I go to the outside of the gate, and he's there. But for me, it just looks like my childhood house. So no one's told me all this thing. I had to figure out a lot of this shit on my own. And he tricks me into touching him, giving him a hug while we cross the threshold together, so that he can enter my family, my ancestors' realm. So then after that, he's been letting all these low vibe celebrities in. Kevin Hart, one of them. The Rock. Doesn't even matter. I can name a billion of them. They've all shown up in my experiences. Keanu Reeves, Will Smith, or those guys don't know what the hell is going on either, and they're just using their vessels and appearing as them. I think some of the celebrities do know what's going on. I think a lot of times it's this ex-neighbor and his brother using their vessel and pretending to be them. And they set up all these portals in my childhood house. They can spawn in on these beds. So as soon as I get out of body, boom, one of them spawns in right behind me. So I've already gotten a lot of skills, and just from dealing with all this. Because again, when I go out of body, I don't want to deal with any of this. I'm trying to explore and not really like mess with anything. But now I'm being forced into this situation that I never wanted to be in. But cool. Now that I know exactly what's going on, keep bringing it on. Everybody around me is going to realize what's happening eventually, because I already seen you and all your stupid souls you control in a place that's terrible, and you guys are all miserable because you have to experience a physical life for as long as you want to, or whatever, until you finally strip your physical habits and transcend. Yeah, so they're just stuck and they're miserable. And all they do is party and have sex and all this stupid stuff you're not really supposed to do out there anyway, but they act like it's okay. And let's see. So now, when I'm getting out, I seem to be getting closer to their timeline on a daily basis, where I'm showing up more frequently. Oh, I meant to say, because I was in this dungeon level for a while, I think what was happening, there had to be enough evidence to prove that I was the innocent one, not doing all those bad things in that vessel of mine. And now that certain beings understand that, like protectors of realms, they let me back into other realms. So I made it out of the dungeon. Now I'm on like a middle ground level, and I'm dealing with them coming after me every night still. And they can look like anybody. But I did notice like one is always yay high, like eye height with me. And then the ex-neighbor, he's a little bit shorter, probably like a whole head, shoulder height to his brother. And somehow they tricked other projectors and souls into being on their team, and they've messed with me a lot too, which is messed up. But here's the thing. Since I was experiencing distant stuff in their timeline, I end up getting a hold of the main one who acts like my friend, who ends up forming into another neighbor, and I have a chance to take care of him, but he just feels so pathetic, and he's begging for me not to hurt him while I have his neck in my hands, that I just can't hurt him. I feel so bad for how pathetic he is. So I say, I'm not going to hurt you, I'm going to heal you. So I put my healing energy into him, and he starts bubbling up like he can't take it. Like I was transmuting something inside of him that was like a parasite or a host that's using him as a host. And then after that, he loves me. He realizes that I have a good heart the whole time. And then he gets confused when I get mad at him, because I'm experiencing my timeline and he's experiencing his timeline. So I end up healing him at the end of the day rather than hurting him. That's the kind of guy I am, because I have my moments where I can decide those stuff. And I felt bad. No matter how bad he did me dirty, I ended up healing him. So also, they don't even know that I already flew well above the sky, super far up, many layers up, with multiple vessels that are chilling up there, waiting and helping me. So now, I just gotta deal with the stupid stuff that's happening here. And when I pass on from this life naturally, I'm gonna end up where I'm supposed to end up, and they're gonna end up where they're supposed to end up, because we do all get judged, in my opinion. And I'm not trying to be good just because I know I'm getting judged and I have eyes on me. This is actually who I am and what I'm about. And I just want to be myself and what I believe in and my values. So if they truly believe it's okay what they're doing to me, to kick me out of every single experience and shorten it to make it as short as possible, I mean, good for them. If they really, really think that's what they're supposed to be doing right now, you know, keep on doing what you're doing. We're going to see exactly what happens at the end of the day. And that's going to be that. And, yeah. So, from here, what I want to do is get something set up in my car so that when I have experiences, I can kind of just talk about them on my drive to work or something. Because I do want to share stuff, and there's been a lot. There's been so much that happened, but it's so personal now. And my whole point into getting into all this was not to deal with any of this. I got roped into all this stuff. Because physical for me was getting to the point where I just felt like it was ridiculous. Like I wasn't feeling like my soul was not getting nourished here. Just it's better here now. I feel calmer here now and more at peace again. But I could just tell I was filled with so many lies when I grew up. And I was being conditioned to be a certain way when I could see very clear truths happening in the world that people weren't talking about. So when I started waking up in the sleep paralysis naturally, I knew there was something to it, and I didn't run from it. And then learning the conscious transition, boom, more evidence that all this stuff is real. Souls are real, and we're separate from these vessels. This is just a limited experience we're having. Probably to learn emotions or something like that. But I identify with my essence, even while I'm here. And honestly, I'm nice to people, but I respect the animals and the insects and nature so much more than people right now. Not everybody. Some people are really good and they're trying their best and they're just doing what they think they need to do to get by. But I see it all the time. The birds, they fly around me. All the butterflies are always flying around me, sending me signs that it's okay. It's gonna be all right. Maybe that's why I experienced my stuff the way I did, because the ones that are helping me when I get out of body and they move me to where I need to be in the right time where I need to be, they wanted to show me that it's okay. And maybe before I've been through too much trauma, they wanted me to make good decisions in the moment. So I thank them for helping me so much. And also, like, there's stupid little tricks they do. Like 2 nights ago, I wake up and the one who's acting like a friend, he looks like an old neighbor. And he comes out the door and he's just acting like a friend, like having a friendly chat with me. So boom, he's already deceiving me. And then another one, probably his brother, is in the shape of the girlfriend of that neighbor. And she comes out and she's a little more off-put, but also trying to act friendly, because the ex-neighbor is not as smooth as his brother. His brother is an advanced projector and deceiver. The neighbor just follows his lead. And there's always that height difference. Like I said, they're a little shorter than me, and then the other one is like shoulder height to him. And then they have control of 3 other souls. So then one of them takes the form of my cat all the time. Because when I see my cat, my first thought is, oh, I love my cat. I'm not going to harm my cat. And then as soon as I turn my back, boom, he shapeshifts and kicks me out of the experience. And then 2 nights ago, they had Amber Heard with them. And she was also being one of their little slaves. It's the false trinity. And these Illuminati celebrities do their bidding. They think it's like a reward to be with them for the night, to be their slave. They don't know they're going to be their slave for eternity if they don't stop and realize what's happening. So then I get into this experience, right? And I'm sitting at my computer and I'm not lucid at all in this experience. I'm half lucid. And I see someone come up dropping a package off at the house. And it's an Amazon truck driver, which is probably Jeff Bezos, also shape-shifting. And he's like, I feel this presence just staring at me through the window. And I have my blinds and my curtains closed. So I'm like, I'm going to get this guy. Who the fuck's staring at me through my window? So I run out there and he runs off. And right when I get out the door, he takes off in his truck. This is 2 nights ago. And I had multiple experiences. This is just one of the 7 experiences I had that night. And he takes off, and I'm the nice guy. I wave like, oh, thanks for dropping all these packages off. So that he drops off like 10 packages for my neighbor, which all 4 of those deceivers, the main one, his brother, my ex-neighbor, and then the 2 souls they have control over. He is, he's in the upstairs unit of the door next to me. So they have like 10 packages. I have 1 package right in front of my house. And then there's another door that's not supposed to be there to my left. And there's like 10 more packages there. So that's probably more deceivers that are... So I'm basically sandwiched right now by all these deceivers. So I'm like, oh, cool, I got a package. And I knew the one was mine. And the other one, I'm pretty sure did say Amber Heard on the labels. And then I also saw her and she just like quickly ran by me. She was trying to act like the neighbor's girlfriend's friend that I was supposed to like think was cute. And she was supposed to act like I was cute. And then she comes out the door real quick, and then the other one's like, we really have to go right now, guys. and they just run off, and they're like, we got to get Amber. And she comes running out, and yeah, I thought she was cute. Obviously Amber Heard's cute in real life. She's cute out there. So I just kind of waved, because I'm not lucid like an idiot, and they think it's so funny because there's 4 of them and they're always making me look like an idiot, when really it's just my good heart again that they're taking advantage of. Fucking shame on you, first off. So she runs away, and she's sort of giggling like how easy it was to get past me and all this shit. And then I start to open up the package, and it's these like shoes, probably Kanye's shoes, or it had the stupid little rubbery fat part at the bottom, or some pro's shoes, I don't know. And I'm like, cool, my shoe, like new shoes. I start to put them on, and I realize these clothes that they're giving me, all this new stuff that they're trying to gift me, that's from them, it actually suppresses my abilities. So later, I put the shoes on, and then they kick me out of the experience. They're like, oh, you got the shoes on, now get them out. Now I wake up again, and I get lucid, and they try to trick me again, but they fail this time. And I call the one out, and he runs away like a little bitch. And then I'm in the childhood neighborhood, and I go up the street, and I find my whole family and friends from childhood just in a house. And I try to fly up to them. But another soul's being controlled by another, or they're in another vessel pretending to be that person, and they come after me. I get rid of them, and I try to fly up to where all my family and friends are, but I feel like these shoes are stopping me. So they suppress my abilities with these inauthentic clothes. And I get gifts from the real primordial beings, who are more than gods. They're luminous beings. So there's a bunch of projectors that are from Earth that are playing gods, and then there's real luminous beings that are watching them. And some of these ones that are playing gods are finally realizing what's happening to me and starting to help me, because they know they're going to be fucked at the end of the day if they don't start helping me. And that's not a threat. That's actually truly what I believe, because where I'm going to end up is with the real luminous beings, because I'm one of them, and attain that while I was here. And all of you, everybody can attain that while they're here. And in your next life, or your next life, however long it takes you, you should never forget that you can attain the same status that I've attained in this life. I did it in one lifetime, and anybody else can do it. Doesn't matter how many lifetimes it takes you. So, so I make it up to them, and I'm like, oh, I'm going to fly up to them. Like, I was like, good, you're all here. I was going to finally have a conversation with everybody and tell them firsthand what's happening to me. And boom, my flight gets stuck. And I know it's those damn shoes that I put on. And then all of a sudden, something throws something at me, hits that part of my head that kicks my senses off. And I'm just like telling everybody, like, my vision got turned off, everyone. I'll keep trying. Just basically telling them, like, oh, just hold on, like, I'm almost there, sort of thing. And then I wake up in another experience, and it's them again, the deceivers, next to me. One's taking the form of my mom, one's taking the form of my brother, and they're acting like friends. And then 2 more show up, taking the form of 2 of my best friends. And I think one of them's actually the real best friend who got suckered into messing with me. One of the souls that are being controlled in the moment. And she comes up to me, and first off, I get lucid right away. Right away I get lucid, and I'm like, I pull the covers off my bed, because they did something with my covers to suppress my essence, and the clothes and everything. So I rip the shoes off, and the one sock doesn't want to come off. and the two friends come in the room. This is all in the same night, and they are acting real funny. Right away, I know something's up, so I go back myself into the corner of the room, and I say, hold on, I'll talk to you guys 1 second. Let me get my back to the wall so nothing can jump me from behind, since every time I'm out, stuff jumps me from behind. Boom. The girl starts coming up to me, and her husband starts giggling. I notice him acting funny right away and giggling, and they're acting like this is going to be so easy. We're just going to kick Steve out of this experience, and we're going to get rewarded by these people who are pretending to be the creator, when really they're the grandest deceivers going right now. Good job. Everybody's getting deceived. So she comes up to me, and I can tell she's trying to touch my head, and I'm like, don't touch me. And she like reaches over to the one side to distract me and make me look that way, and reaches around with her other hand to turn my senses off. Boom, she succeeds, but I'm still there, and I stay calm. I know I'm still out of body. I just gotta reactivate my sight. And the other husband, he starts laughing, and I say, I can hear you laughing. And I say his name. I'm not gonna say his name here. And I say, I can hear you laughing, you stupid fuck. And then I instantly get my sight back on, and he runs away like a little bitch, and I grabbed the girl for doing that to me, and I banged her head against the wall and destroyed her on the spot. Because you're supposed to be my best friends, and you're doing that shit to me. I didn't have enough willpower in the moment to control myself, and you deserved it. So that was that whole experience. And then I tried to get out of the house, but they got me at the last minute and kicked me out. So just little by little, I'm making more progress every night. It's slow progress, but it's progress. And I'm not going to give up, and I'm not going to get discouraged. And I really needed to make this video for my own benefit, and for other people who go through similar things and are going to deal with similar things. And I also want to speak on, well, for one, I don't care how long this video is anymore. And if you guys watch it all the way, good for you, because it has a lot of good info. But also, there's people on the subreddit that are spewing serious lies about these realms. Especially the dungeon type realms that are super shadowy and have this awful feeling to them. They don't want you there because they don't want you to find out what the negative entities are really doing there. They're capturing vessels, they're bringing them down there, and they're using our true vessels that are rightfully ours as their own, and doing all sorts of fucked up stuff with them. And what we've been doing, the real luminous beings, is capturing these negative entities, transmuting them, stealing our energy back because it's ours, and getting the... And look, see what I'm saying? Little butterfly, as I'm saying this shit. You can't make this stuff up. So, we're getting the vessels back, and we're flying them back to where they're supposed to be, away from these negative entities, so that they can't mess with us anymore. And we've already accomplished it. We've got at least one vessel for every single person. So once everybody realizes what's really happening and the grand deception that's happening in this world and the next world, we're going to have a vessel for you, nice and ready, no matter how much you wronged us, because we love everybody that much, and we want everybody to be happy, and we just want to be done with this stupid spiritual war that's been going on forever. And it's going to be done. It's going to be over one day. My guy, they're always looking after me. They're always spraying shit above me. Can't make this shit up, man. Cannot make this shit up. I think that's enough anyway. I'm gonna basically, keep projecting. I'm gonna make a Reddit post to compliment this video, even though I know it's not gonna do well on Reddit since they all downvote me, and they act like, oh, maybe people just don't like you. Nah, there's literally people every time I make a post, and their only job is to downvote me so that my stuff doesn't get out to the populace. But they don't understand how the alternate realities work and how the information still gets to the right eyes on the other side. So, you know, keep doing your best, deceivers. It's been fun. You trained me well, and now I learned all this stuff, and I'm super strong energetically because of how much shit you sent at me and how much energy I stole back for the ancestors. Like, if they could kill me by now, they would have done it. And I've been in the lowest levels for a long time before this, and they weren't able to get me down there. So they definitely ain't getting me anywhere else. So, whatever. It is what it is. Let's see if we can make a little trick shot or something in the video on a positive. Can you even see? Let's see here. Back this up a little bit. We're gonna do one shot. If it goes in, it goes in. If not, oh well. This video is already long enough. Check me out too. I still got my piece. Airball. Till next time, much love. And this was a long video. I said a lot of stuff. I don't know if I'm going to make a video for a very long time because I got to focus on what's actually happening. Good luck to everybody. And if anyone has questions, you know exactly where to find me. I can help a lot of people with a lot of specific questions. And I will if you reach out to me. Saving little insects every day because I actually care about that stuff.